Welcome back, everyone. Toy Shiz here, and we are back yet again for another Neca Toys TMNT video. Today, we have a bit of an early look at their upcoming 4-pack for their Mirage Comics toy line. I'm a huge fan of what they're doing with the Mirage line, as well as the Archie and the cartoon. A lot of Ninja Turtles, but I really do feel like Neca Toys is definitely doing it right on all fronts. Plus, you got Kevin Eastman doing the front packaging artwork. That's a nice touch right there. All 4 Turtle Bros, including the cow. More on that in just a few. The box has the flappy opening, and you get a little bit of a street scene, kind of reminiscent of the original Mirage 4-pack, as well as being able to see every single turtle and their accompanying accessories. On the back side, you get the usual really nice photos. You get to see everything you'll be enjoying in the box. You can set the mood, set the lighting, do whatever what you want to do if you're a photographer. And here's all the upcoming characters that you can add to your Mirage Comics toy line, including the number one that I cannot wait for, Old Leatherhead. Now here's everyone involved with the creation of these figures. So as always, thank you very much for that. And here's the barcode. This will be a part of the Target Spring 2025 HAULATHON. It's not exclusive. It's first to market. You give it a few months, and you'll be able to grab it wherever else you'd like to buy your Mirage TMNT. For those of you interested, if you want to go ahead and read the original Mirage Comics run of TMNT, issue number 14, titled The Unmentionables, of which this is where that box set comes from, I highly recommend reading it. It's a corny story, we'll just say. It's kind of like a mafia noir kind of story involving Casey Jones and the Turtles and a cow that's solid gold, kind of, sort of, and then it turns out to be a real cow. It's weird. The turtles dress up. So this is kind of like the Mirage take for Turtles in Disguise. Kind of, sort of. They basically wear these for maybe 1, 2, or 3 pages, if that. And we can talk about which character is who coming up. That's for sure. I think it's a little confusing. But rest assured, like I always say, I'm a huge fan of the Mirage Comics line. Give them a read. It'll blow your mind of what they talk about, what they do, how the Turtles react, all the other characters. It's totally different to what the Ninja Turtles have become to this day. And every other iteration, these ones are just cool. That's all I got for you. But in the meantime, this is going to be an absolute blast. Sit back, relax, grab yourself a nice hot cup of coffee. This is a look at the brand new NECA 4-pack for the Mirage Comics TMNT line. Here we go. And right before we get started, I just want to say a quick thank you to everyone who continues to watch my YouTube vids. And if you haven't already, please do consider subscribing. Why? Well, we have old toys, new toys, daily news updates. Guarantee you'll find something here that you'll like. And with that being said, here's everything out of the packaging. And just to kind of start it off, I feel like it's a little lackluster in the accessories. I knew that going in. I've seen this revealed. I've seen it at Toy Fair. I knows what I'm getting in this 4-pack, but that doesn't mean that it wasn't something that I wanted for my collection. Now, you do get a bunch of extra red bandanas. Every single turtle can have each style if they desire. Off to the side, draping over the shoulder. You choose your own turtle adventure. You do get a nice bundle of dynamite, which comes straight from the comic book. Yes, they do have accompanying hands to then hold said dynamite and chuck them if you'd like to do that. You also get a money sack, like a traditional money sack, the big old sack with the $sign on it. But here's the thing. I really wish, like if you look at the front cover, that you were able to hold this right with one hand, like it had that little part at the top where you could run with the money sack like all the criminals used to, that kind of thing. You also get a very simplistic pocket watch, but it totally fits within the context of the Mirage line. It's yellow, it's got the face of the clock, and it has a real gold chain to it. So I dig that. It has a little bit of markings on the back as well. You can give it to any of the turtles if you desire, have them holding it. That's a nice accessory, as well as the safe. I think the safe is the highlight accessory for this. It's really well done. Again, straight from this Unmentionables issue 14 comic. It says Quentin Savings and Loan on it. This part right here, be very careful with it. You don't want to snap that it doesn't move, but you grab the handle and it does open like a normal safe. So there's a little bit of paint inside. You can see all the hinges, how it works, how it operates, exactly how a safe would. You could even have the turtles carrying the safe, which I totally appreciate. Or if you want to leave it on the ground, you can put the money sack in the safe, although it's kind of a pain to get it out, just FYI. And much like the bandanas, you get a dozen extra hands so that all the turtles can be holding something. Would have been nice to include their weapons, just saying, as extra pack-ins, but it's kind of like an accessory pack. So if you take the regular turtles with these turtles and you want to swap hands and accessories and everything else, you can totally do that. And that is part of the fun of displaying a Mirage Comics line, because they were always having their masks on, masks off, different get-ups, yada yada. So we'll go ahead and kick things off with Leonardo. And if you haven't noticed by now, each of the turtles get a respectable removable hat. Some of the hats will definitely fit on better than others. Like, you could actually tip them over and they won't come off, but it's not for all of the turtles, just FYI. But I like that he has the bandana, that'll swivel. You get plenty of articulation. Leonardo has a coat. The arms, they're a little bit different than the regular turtles because now he has the sleeves of the coat, so that's nicely done. The arms really presented no problem. Nothing really much to heat up, although I will tell you, when you come to the other turtles with the pants, probably heat those up. They're a little bit stuck. The one problem I have, it's a nice brown, but in the comic, because we're going off the cover here, he has a white jacket, or at least a gray jacket. I wouldn't say brown on this one. So that's really the only bummer that I would say overall. Oh, and then also Nickelodeon wouldn't allow them to do the guns. Unfortunately, that was told to me at Toy Fair. But in the case of Michelangelo here, they're totally cool with brass knuckles. Now, Mikey is my favorite of the four. I really like his sweater. He totally looks like an old London, New York cabbie. I just love his hats, his sweater, the pants. It really works for Michelangelo. Again, how do I know this is Leonardo and Michelangelo? It's the context of the comic book for the minimal pages that they're on the screen. But like I said, I love that Mikey is the only one that has the brass knuckles, or the knuckle dusters, whatever you want to call them, and he looks just darn cool. In the context of Michelangelo for the Mirage comics, he would totally have these, just FYI. The hat is awesome. Much like I said with the hat staying on, staying off. They will fit on their heads. It just depends on how much you kind of want to push down on them. I like the expressions they got going on. The bandana has some articulation. You can swap them with all the bandanas that you got, whatever you want to do. It's dealer's choice. But yeah, overall, the fun here with Michelangelo is just top notch. Again, I like his little cabbie hats, the sweater. Everything just looks cool. But yeah, that hat ain't staying on. But if you press down really hard and you don't want to see his eyes, you can definitely achieve that. But why? Just have him on your shelf and looking good. Next up is this turtle. And within the context of the comic, this could be anyone. However, I will say, I would say it's Donatello, probably because of the context of the comic book. I would say, if anything, this is Raphael. Although, because of the purplish blue coat, that's what makes me go, it's Donatello, but not really, right? It's just kind of, hey, whoever you want these to be, it just seems like Donnie would wear this more than Raph. But again, with the hats, the looks, the turtle coat, everything else, he's pretty darn cool. And finally, we'll say this is Raphael, because I really feel like this, if anybody, would be Raph. But again, in the context, it could be Donatello. You just never know. Lay your bets down below on what you think. But the brown coat, the hats, the torn shirt, you got pants. So this is basically a brand new figure overall. And I just love the hat, the bowler cap with the bullet hole in it. That's just awesome. I love that. So this one's my second fave of this box set, just because it's just interesting to have the turtles in this getup, right? The pants, like I said, the pants turtles, just imagine saying that. Go easy when you articulate them. Just make sure you heat them up a little bit. The arms really presented no problems. Swapped out the hands, the heads, everything else if you want to swap them with your prior Jim Lawson turtles. But overall, I will say this. It's a cool enough set, but it's also really lacking at the same time. It doesn't have that chutzpah from the artwork, unfortunately. In saying that, when you want to pair them up with April O'Neil and Casey Jones, I would not put it past Neca Toys to eventually do the unmentionable versions of Casey and April, just FYI. This is an overall interesting set. It's a lot of fun in that regard, but the lack of the guns, the miscolored coat, if anything, it just leaves kind of like a, yeah, they're cool, right? There's nothing wrong with them, but they're kind of boring at the same time, if anything. As a huge Mirage Comics fan, I look at this and I go, These are a lot of fun. I can't believe this exists. I think that if they get to Casey in April, I think that might kind of give it a little bit more like oomph to it. But as it stands right now, if I'm being honest, it's just kind of like maybe wait on this. If you're not a huge Mirage Comics fan, then just wait. If you are, well, then it's a no-brainer. And with that being said, you've heard my thoughts, and now I'm curious to know yours. Comment below, let me know. Let's talk everything NECA Mirage TMNT. And thank you again to my friends over at Neca Toys for sending this out for the purposes of this video. And until the next one, I will leave you guys with it. Adios.